Oh, how's everybody doing? Question: Are you willing to accept the mark of the beast? Well, I am a pre tribulation believer, which means I believe that the rapture will happen, and then that once that is gone, then everything comes together and the tribulation starts, right? In that chaos, people will come up and an antichrist, like he's gonna be the grand poobah of the world. He's gonna run the whole show. Well, there's a scripture in Revelation chapter 13 that covers with the mark of the beast what it is. It says in Revelation chapter 13 verse 16, it says, "It also forced all people, great and small, rich and poor, free and slave, to receive a mark on their right hands or on their foreheads. So they could not buy or sell unless they had the mark, which is the name of the beast or the number of its name." This calls for wisdom, that the person who has insight calculate the number of the beast. For the number of the man, that number is 666. Okay, you know that in Hebrew the letters are having a numerical value, right? So when you add the number of this particular person that they're talking about, it's going to add up to 666, right? Okay, now the mark, you know, people like to wear display brands, right? The clothing that they wear, the cars that they drive, everything, the shoes that they wear, you know, all that. Everything has a brand that people like to display, right? Like if you see a bow tie on a car, you know it's a Chevy. If you see the three-pointed star with the circle around it, you know it's a Mercedes. If you see the little tag on a shirt that has a little crocodile on it, you know it's crossed. So on and so forth. You have Polo. You have all these brands that it's tied to a specific logo. So I've heard a preacher talk about the mark of the beast, which they don't know whether it's going to be the a brand where they put it on top of the hand, the right hand, or on the forehead. That it's going to be like a mark, like a brand. You know, take a hot iron and you put it's going to leave a scar, or it goes under the skin with a little chip that can do like an RFID chip that you can, you know, wherever you can go, it's electronic that they can mark you or keep track of you type thing. Okay, this particular preacher that I was listening to, he broke down the word in Hebrew on the meaning of that, and then it comes into two, that it's a on top of the skin and then underneath the skin. So it's a brand that goes also underneath the skin, right? Now, I was watching the news the other day, and there's a car now that apparently this particular guy that bought the car, he had the chip that starts like a key fob that starts the car. He had it embedded into his hand. Also, a while back, I've seen other ones where they embedded into their hand a chip, so a guy at his work site, he can go into his break room and buy stuff because the chip is underneath the hands tied to his credit card, and he didn't have to have money. He can do whatever he wanted to do, right? So, and now this is September 21st, 2022, right? September 21st, 2022, and when the pandemic started, COVID-19, that was started in November 2019 over in China. Then it migrated, and by March here in the States in 2020, everything was locked down. So when they came up with when they came up with the vaccine, people wanted to find out, are you vaccinated? You can't come in unless you're vaccinated. So people had to prove that they were vaccinated, right? But you got to show proof that you're here. Well, now a lot of them, they wanted to put the vaccine underneath their skin so they can scan it, right? So the attitude to put the stuff underneath your hands, on the web of your hands or whatever, it's already here. To accept it because it makes life more easier. So the putting a brand that's from a world government underneath your skin or your forehead. He said, why the forehead? I had other people talking to me about they put it on the forehead because of it might be cold wherever they're at. Put it on the hand. Man, I'll get frostbite. So they put it on the forehead. Got a parka and put it on the forehead. They can read it. Well, that attitude is already prevalent in the world. So people, they'll jump at the chance. It makes my life easier. Sure, go ahead and do it. And according to what I read in the Bible, that's a bad thing. The other things that I've read, that the ones that receive the mark will suffer boils. Do you suppose it's from the implanted chip? Because the ones that don't receive the mark do not get boils. So, something to think about. So, as these days are getting darker and darker, we need to be on point with the Bible, because it's gonna come a day where the trumpet sounds and we're out of here. Now, if you don't believe, if you're a mid-tripper or a post-tribulation rapture and all that, you're going to be in for the roller coaster of your life when Jesus comes to get his church and we disappear for 7 years. Because there's a crown for those that anticipate that Jesus is coming back. So I'll leave you with that, and be blessed.